real estate agents, and welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. He is the man with the plan, and he is the producer of this show. How are you doing, Joey?
I'm doing all right, Jeff. Didn't you wear that yesterday?
Don't tell anybody.
I'm just kidding.
No. Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, we are the Real Estate Marketing Maniacs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And we're here at Security Title Studios. We've got a fantastic guest with us today.
We do.
Yes, we do. That guest is Jacqueline Roersma.
Jacqueline
with
Roersma.
Phantom Realty. How was that?
Yes.
It is fantastic, actually. My husband Hans would really appreciate that.
Well, good.
Rolling your R's is not that easy.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. I feel much better now that I got past that part.
Yeah. You know, my wife would say, Roersma.
No rolling for her, huh?
No rolling. So
No?
make the R go longer, but not no
that's
rolls.
funny. That's funny. Also, so Elisa Axelrod asked you to come in, and I think she dubbed you Queen of Anthem or something.
Queen of Anthem.
Is what I'm hearing.
She did, and I get that because we are the oldest independent business in Anthem, so
Yeah.
we've outlasted a lot. Let me tell you,
That's amazing. That's a beautiful part of the
Yeah.
valley up there too.
Stunning.
It really is. It really is. Why don't we start with telling the agents that are watching or listening how long you've been in business and what got you into real estate in the first place?
Sounds good. I started in 1985, and my father started a company which was shared ownership, kind of like timeshare, but
Okay, yeah.
a little different. He was smart enough that if you do 1/11th, you don't have to get a public report.
Oh.
So he sold quite a few of those, and I worked for that corporation for about 3 years. Didn't know how good I had it. I was in winters somewhere beautiful, summers somewhere beautiful, and I started my marketing based on timeshare, really, and that's a very challenging little industry.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
So
Yeah.
specifically, I remember in Puerto Vallarta one time where I was put as an OPC, which is an outside personal contact, and people were really kind of weary of timeshare.
Yeah.
So one of the salesmen had an iguana, and I said, "Let me borrow the iguana. I'll take the iguana to the street," and everybody wanted their picture with them.
Wow.
So that was just kind of like the start.
Wow. Did you offer the picture as long as they paid $5?
I did not. As long as they came to a presentation, they could have a picture.
There we go. My daughter was in California last year at one point with a friend, and she's like, there was somebody walking around with a snake thing, right? And kind of like Joey when you and I went to New York, right?
That's right.
And so, she didn't know any better. They're like, hey, you want to take a picture? She's like, that's awesome. And then, of course, that's $5. And I'm like, oh, man.
A little afterthought.
I said,
Yeah.
you're going to get that, and you learned a lesson there. Anyway, so what are you doing today in 2018 to be successful in real estate?
Well, today I focus really on my referral and repeat business, which has been the cornerstone of my business for probably 28 years.
Yeah.
28 years.
And I just love working with my friends and colleagues and family and their kids, and it just goes on. It's really a wonderful.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
Probably it took me about 8 to 10 years to be referral mostly, and it had to do with really good technology at the time, which was a while ago. I remember a top producer. That's what I used, and it was really a great product.
Yeah.
So started early with the CRM.
I did, actually, really early.
Are you using a specific one right now?
I am. We have downsized our brokerage because we had
Okay.
22 agents at one time, and we've decided that we wanted a little bit more of a life today. So
Yes.
with a heavy heart, I asked all those agents to go elsewhere, and we just have my husband, myself, and 2 full-time employees.
Okay.
And we actually use Zip, which is the Zip Forms, and it's
Okay.
also got the
Got it.
CRM in it. So
So I hear
All
a
right.
lot of good things about Zip Forms.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some great stuff out there. Since you brought up the work-life balance thing, I wanted to ask you that anyway. So how do you recommend, or what are you doing to kind of balance those two things? Because I can imagine after so many years in the business, right, that your database is probably pretty large. You've probably got a lot of requests, a lot of people reaching out to you. How do you balance all that?
Well, today I make sure that I don't have my phone with me in the evening, and I don't have my phone with me on Sunday. So,
Wow.
I will check it periodically, but if it's really important, most people can wait. Once in a while I have a buyer I'm working with where if something comes up, I've got to be available.
Sure.
Because I don't want to miss it for them. And at that point, I'll go ahead and keep my phone with me handy. But other than that, I try to make sure I have a couple scheduled days off. And then, again, not do it at night. So it took a long time to get there, though. So I had 15 years where I worked about 70 hours a week.
Ooh.
Wow.
And my husband bought me a coffee cup that said, are we in a time zone? Is this day ever going to end?
No. So what do you think what kind of advice would you give to agents today if they're not at that point yet, right, where they've got a large database and they're not getting a bunch of referrals? I mean, how would they make that decision to not use the phone at night or on Sundays? I mean, if they're really struggling,
right?
I mean,
I think it's really important because you have to be able to clear your head. If you're in, your real estate mode 24 hours a day, I don't think I performed as well as I could have if I made sure that I had that time to clear my head. So having I think regular schedule is really important, and that's another reason I think I've been successful for this 30 plus years is I make sure, that I'm working at least 40 hours a week. I have to get up and go to work at 8. I come home at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people see the real estate career as, oh, you can work when you want, or you don't have to work, or just sell to friends. But I never saw that working, and I had 22 agents that I trained. So I think it's a pretty clear picture that it's a profession.
Yeah, and there has to be structure.
Correct.
Yeah.
It has to be structured for sure.
I need to have my wife listen to this one. She's sometimes does emails late. She's in the mortgage business, so
and they say it's not good. You shouldn't be looking at your phone. I think your brain waves are affected also when you're looking at that screen at the night before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning. And I believe that is not good for you. So you can tell her from me.
Yeah.
There's always another loan.
I will do that. Yes, absolutely. How about what's the makeup of your business as far as listings versus the buy side? What are you guys seeing?
I'd say we probably do about 70% listings and 30% buyers. I mentioned earlier my husband has a property management division, so he handles 160 rentals, and we're totally separate because I want really nothing to do with that department. But he's amazing at it. He believes that there's no problems, that there's just issues that arise and that they have to find a solution. So he's really good at it.
Okay.
And a lot of landlords today are selling because the market's gotten to a point where their return is back where they can go ahead and sell and not be in a poor position.
Yes.
Yeah. But probably 70-30. And right now I think this week I have 2 of my old clients. They're both buying and selling, which is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it...
it's 4 transactions right there.
That's right. It's just really, really nice. And when you have your referrals and your repeat business, it's just also very comforting that they totally trust you.
Yeah, yes. For sure.
So you don't have to prove yourself. You don't
have to take your listing presentation out.
Correct. Just do the best you can for them every day, and it works out.
So is a lot of your business there in Anthem? I mean, is that kind of your niche area or geographic farm, I guess, if you will?
I guess about 70% is Anthem, and it's, we really stand out there because, as Alyssa said when she introduced me, we are the oldest independent business. We've been very involved. We were in every Veterans Day parade. I love my veterans. We're going to do whatever we can to promote their well-being.
That's right.
So we have a beautiful Jeep with 15 flags, and I love to sing,
awesome.
One of the anthems while we go around the parade.
Really?
So I did that for 13 years.
Well, maybe you can sing.
You have a professional mic right there.
No, I'm not a good singer. When you're in a parade and I have the music in the background, it's kind of like being in the shower. It makes it much easier.
I don't know if I believe that. Yeah. You're probably a good singer.
Jeff is a singer too, so maybe you guys can harmonize.
Maybe we'll try. We'll
frog in my throat. No. Oh, that's funny.
So lots of events. We were in Anthem Days, which is coming up in March, a huge event where 15,000 people come. We had a booth every year. And it really wasn't for so much for getting new business, but just for saying hi to everybody. We know everybody. You go in the grocery store, you're talking to everybody. My husband, we go to the gym. He's more of a social. I'm more of a workout type, but he'll socialize with everybody, and we just...
While he's working out.
Correct. We're so lucky that we know so many people, and it is a beautiful community. I mean, we pull together a lot for different important things that go on in the community.
So does your husband walk up to the big guys and say, hand me that 150, please.
No, he's more likely to
socialite.
just walk up and start talking to him and not lift up the weight, actually.
No weight.
That's right.
That's great.
That's right.
That's great. Well, I mean, all these events, I mean, it's branding.
Correct.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
keeping you in front of the people that are in that area.
Correct.
It totally makes sense. Yeah, I love that. They have a great memorial up there, don't they?
Amazing.
The one with when the sun gets at a certain place. And
Correct. There's 5 marble pillars, one for each piece of the military.
Oh.
And then on November 11th at 11:11, the sun shines through the silver cones that are placed in each one strategically down to the national seal, which is on some bricks on the ground. It's just,
I thought that,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what tips would you give agents today to grow their business? Let's say that they either new to the business or maybe they've been in it for a while, but they've seen their business slow a bit. What would you tell them they need to go do?
Well, for me, again, I'm just so old school. I mean, I can't believe that I started mine by putting flyers on apartments and on cars, on windows, That was history.
Yeah.
And I have 2 very good friends that still remember those flyers that they found, that bought and sold for me 3 or 4 times. Previewing is another great piece. Previewing homes. So I know that may be old school too, but yes, I preview homes, and I've met at least 2 of my very good clients who bought and sold probably 4 or 5 times. They were peeking in the window while I was previewing, so I'm like, come on in.
Wow.
Let's check it out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
really very organic way to meet people and, be
So,
disalarming.
Previewing, I haven't heard that much on this show anyway. So what would be the purpose for previewing a home?
I prefer that when I take someone out to show them that I do the best I can so that their time is well utilized. And there's really no reason. I have learned over the years the most important component is listening to the people and knowing what they want. So as long as I know that, I can go out and preview, make sure that what I'm going to show them is going to be applicable. And I think on the average, maybe 3 times out before one of my clients buys.
Got it. So you are looking at homes that you think might fit a particular buyer that you're working with.
Correct.
Right? Okay. Oh, that's great. And that should give you content to share, too. I don't know if you do Facebook stuff or any of that, but it probably gives you
I'm not really great at
idea.
it. I have it. I have a business page because we own our company.
Yeah.
But I am not real proficient with all that. And being that I'm referral and repeat based, I haven't had to really delve into all the technology. Although I feel that I'm really, I always stay on top of it.
Yeah.
So I had an REO contract for 5 years. And I love the fact that I made this beautiful brochure that confirmed all the things that I would do to take care of a large contract like that. And I got interviewed off of it. And I asked the gentleman later why he hired me. And he said it was because I did a full page, web page on each of my listings. And this was probably 8 or 9 years ago. So it was, right in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that was a great contract. But I'm glad to say people are not losing their homes like they used to. So that's kind of on the back burner for a while, which I'm okay with.
Yeah. So Anthem's looking good right now.
Looking great.
Yeah.
Really great. Things are, I think just like anywhere, there's not a lot of inventory.
Right. Yep.
I still do a lot of business in the North Valley. I'm putting something on the market for $1 million at Shea and Tatum 1st March. I also have another one that I'm actually flipping.
Nice.
56th Street and Greenway in March. And they bought it from me 20 years ago. So
you know the house well.
I do know the house well.
All right. No, that's great. How about one thing that's made the biggest impact in your business?
I was actually thinking about that, and funny little thing someone said once was, if there are people who don't like you, you're not doing enough business.
Wow.
And I have to really think about that because we all like to be liked.
Yes.
We want to be liked. We definitely have some people who don't like us, though, so I think I must be doing enough
Something
business for sure. And that's okay too. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. Who is it? Is it Seth Godin, Joey, that says you want to be remarkable? Whether that's remarking in a good way or a bad way, at least they're talking about you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And that's so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Absolutely. How about, and I know, this is a question that might be a fun one here, but was there one sale that stood out?
Oh, yeah.
In
I'd
your
love to hear
career?
this.
There is one sale that stood out, and I feel that I'm a really compassionate person. I had very good clients of mine who the husband had Alzheimer's after we met, actually. And when we went through that really rough period, I was extremely proficient with short sales, getting 5 designations. So education's another, I think, really important piece of our industry. Mm-hmm. And I would usually, run away when an attorney gives someone advice. But in this particular scenario, I did not. She was told to let that house go to foreclosure. And that house was on 5 acres, so you are not protected by the anti-deficiency laws. So I said, hey, you know what? Let me try to sell it for you. It wasn't my area. It was actually in Chino Valley. But because of my professionalism in the short sale, I had pretty high confidence I could get that done for her.
Yeah.
And I was able to get her a release on the short sale. And then when I called her to tell her that I had that approval letter, she said, all I have to worry about is Alzheimer's now.
Oh.
So that's the most important sale.
All right.
Well, I don't think we've ever had anyone be emotional on the show yet.
And we don't have any tissue.
No.
Sorry, it's okay.
No, this is.
No, it's
I'm
good.
still great friends with her. He's passed away, but that was really important.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story.
Well, it shows how much you care. Right?
Yeah.
Because that's the bottom line.
I care about them all, so.
Yeah. All right.
I got a young man right now trying to buy a house or condo house for $125. It's really hard, as you probably can guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then yet I'm writing $1 million house this week as well, and they're all important. They're all people. They're all important.
Right.
That's right.
Absolutely. Any other final thoughts before we move into the next segment, as far as what you're doing in your business or anything that agents you think need to know?
If I were going to make recommendations, it would be really to learn the technology and not to be spending a lot of money just because you think something looks good, but to definitely do the research and ask your colleagues. I find that a lot of our colleagues are there to help us.
Yeah.
They're happy to help us. So.
Yeah.
All right. Great info. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If any agents that are watching or listening, if they did want to reach out to you in some manner, what's the best way?
My cell phone, 602-576-3000. I calls, or you can text me. I'm not the greatest texter, but I do look at it every day because it's obviously necessary today.
Except Sundays and Mondays.
Except Sundays and
correct, and
after
evenings.
a certain time.
And evenings.
So what have you set kind of as that time anyway? Like,
I go to work. Well, I get up and go into work mode probably about 8:30 to 5:30 now, which is really very nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
15 years, 70 hours a week was.
That
I didn't
stuff.
know. It just went by.
Yeah.
It was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it worked out. It was, that was what I was supposed to be doing at that time.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to get in the ring. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here we go. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Oh, the best advice. Well, I guess I went back to that, the fact that everybody's not going to like you.
Yeah.
And be okay with it.
And be okay with it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's great. How about your favorite mobile app?
Well, I have a bunch of mobile apps on my mobile, but I don't really use them. So my most favorite recent mobile app is my eKey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just switched over to it from the little
from the handheld.
Wow.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So change is always hard, but I'm like, I can do all my inventory. I can change my lockbox times.
Oh, that's cool.
I always worried before that maybe it would die and I wouldn't be able to get into a house.
Is there a monthly fee for that?
It's about $17. It's about the same. It's just broken up. You have to pay it monthly.
Yeah. I think I might have to do that, Jeff.
I love it.
Because I always forget that darn key.
You must do it.
Yes. Pricing only valid through the date of this episode. No, subject to change. How about a book recommendation?
Oh, you know what? I'm a big animal activist.
Okay.
A big animal activist. And I love the book Saving Simon.
Saving Simon.
Okay.
And it's about saving a donkey, actually, but it's really, truly about human compassion.
All right.
So, I've read a lot of real estate books over the years, but today my life is more centered around what I can do for animals because they have no voice and they need a lot of help.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. How about a productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
I love Outlook. I live on my email. I mean, that's the majority of, probably half my day is through email, but I love it because it's proficient. It's really great record keeping.
Sure it is.
I do all my appointments and all my tasks on it, but you can tell I'm not a big internet or app user.
No, that's all right.
But that's okay.
All right.
Us old dogs can still do it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
see, there we go. How about one final question? We'll have you draw it out of the mask.
Okay.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right.
I think it is. It was really soft. Oh, something that people don't know about me. I guess a lot of people don't know that when I started real estate, I had 3 jobs.
Oh.
So, but I loved them. I had a hard time quitting when I got successful, actually. So I had this really swanky evening cocktail job I had.
Okay.
Where I was the only female and I wore a formal gown and I got to wait on a lot of movie stars and
Wow.
interesting people.
Really?
And then worked at a Jewish country club at lunch. But all those things really helped me get where I needed to get so that I could support myself in real estate. Because it
All
takes
right.
time, as everybody knows,
Yes.
It does.
to make that happen.
Yeah. Was that here in the Valley?
No, that was actually in Palm Springs.
Oh, I was going to say,
Okay, there's
probably
not a lot of
here. Yeah, I was
superstars
thinking
here.
about that.
Palm Springs. So I
All
grew
right.
up here. I've been here, we moved here in the 65. But I went to my father, who was in Southern California. They were divorced. I didn't know how good I had it. I was a snowbird as a teenager. Here in the winter and California in the summer.
That's
I mean, it
beautiful.
was perfect.
Yeah.
But so I went there at about 20 years old to go to work for my dad. And that was in Palm Springs. So
Wow.
Palm Springs had a lot of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. for
And
sure.
then one thing a lot of people do know about me is I met my husband on a cruise ship
Really?
in the Mediterranean on a Holy Land cruise. Yeah,
Nice.
he worked on the ship, and here we are 18 years later, just incredibly happy.
Wow. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
you. Life
Yeah.
is good.
Yes.
Real
Good.
estate's
We love to hear
wonderful.
that.
It's so fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's just great that you can make such an impact in people's lives.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been a great episode. We really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me.
It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. And thank you also to, we don't do this very often, Joey, but thank you so much for all the listeners out there, viewers.
Yes. We have over 60,000 downloads and listens, and so
Between the listens and the views and everything, yeah. So we've had a lot of fun,
So
so thank you so
thankful.
much. And, until next time, I guess, actually, let's also say thanks to Fidelity National Home Warranty.
Yes, and
which
security
is
title.
one of our sponsors. So until next time, though, this is Jeff Underwood along with
Joey Sampaga.
signing off. See you later.
Awesome. That was easy.